Welcome to the Further North podcast, your weekly dose of the North Melbourne Footy Club. My name is Josh, and this is a fan-run podcast doing match previews, reviews, and everything North. Let's get it started. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Further North podcast. We've got some royalty today. We got the guys from North Melbourne closer to a flag. Very, very exciting stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to go around the group here, introduce name, favourite North obscure player, and favourite North Melbourne memory. So I'm going to pass it over to you guys. Let's get into it.
Geez, mate, royalty. Thank you for that. No.
Well, you're a staple in the community.
We're trying to do what we can, but my name...
You don't have to be humble in this studio right here.
No, well, thank you, mate.
That's all right.
Yes, we are North close to a flag, North Melbourne close to a flag, for all the formalities out there. My name is Tyler. I'm admin 1 of the group. We're going to go straight into obscure player.
I love this.
Telling you before the podcast, but I'm going to say Paul Curtis. Not that obscure, but I'm just thinking from like an outsider point of view.
Okay.
Trying to get to know the club, like that's your man.
Yeah. So if you're an outsider just about to jump on the North train, like so many people
learn that name, know that name.
Yeah.
Phone background, make him
neck tat,
do the whole
cursive thing across the Adam's apple. Yeah, I agree.
And as for the moment, it's got to be Jack Marnie kicking a goal against Gold Coast last year. It was the most important game of the year. He cut the lead to 13 in a blowout loss. So
yeah. It's iconic. No, it's iconic.
No, the crowd loved it.
There'll be a mural in North Melbourne soon enough about that.
Oh, if there's not, we're riding.
Get your flares out now.
Yeah, I'll pass over to admin 2.
Admin 2. Ooh.
Yes, admin 2 in the hierarchy. My name's Liam. Favorite North memory growing up's got to be our man Corey Jones. That snap on the boundary line against Sydney.
It was brilliant. I remember it.
It's a core memory for me. Archer's 250th against the odds. Doesn't get much better than that, honestly.
Who did they play in his 250th again?
Sydney,
that's it.
And they were quite a powerhouse at the time too. So a real core memory for me, that one.
Fantastic.
Again, so obscure players. I'm going for 2, not just the one here. Don't know how this happened. I reckon there was a draft night sort of plan with this. Ben Warren and Warren Benjamin. The fact that they were both on our list at the same time, the stars aligned,
magic, really.
Absolutely. Both
of them are my obscure players. Love them both.
My YouTube's been throwing up a lot of old North memories recently of like 2012 era, and I did see Ben Warren play in the forward pocket. I think he kicked a goal in it was like a late round game to keep us into the 8 or in the conversation. I can't remember what year it was, but what a player.
What a player. What a hairdo. I
completely forgot about Warren Benjamin, though.
Yeah, that's seriously obscure. I don't think he ever played a game. But boy, what a VFL player he was for us. Really
solid, yeah.
I really hope he's doing well.
Yeah. Shout out. Warren Benjamin.
Super obscure.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we are. That's what we want. That's the content people ask for around here.
G'day, guys, and thank you for having us on. My name's Rashan. I'm admin number 3. I'd probably say my favourite North memory, probably everyone else's favourite North memory, 2014 elimination final.
I'm from Tassie originally. I went to that game. That was one of the games I got to in that year, and it was unbelievable. Daniel Wells in that game, fantastic.
Oh, I can remember the commentary from BT,
absolutely,
like it's yesterday. And I was in like a little pocket of North fans next to the Essendon cheer squad, and just watching them pour out after Dish scored that second goal in a minute.
Fantastic.
It will never not be funny in my mind. And then my obscure player, I'm not sure if anyone remember this, but the super sub Ben Spate. The streets won't forget his tackle against the Bulldogs in like round 14 of 2011.
Brilliant.
I think the week before we lost to Collingwood by like 120 or something like that. So
sounds like something we would do, yeah.
Yeah. That would probably be my favourite obscure North player, I'd say.
Unbelievable. I love Ben Spate. That's one of those players when I saw him play, I was like, this guy's going to be a star. He's got what it takes at the top level.
You say that, and then you look at the career stats later on. You're like, maybe not one of the finest goals.
Not good. It is interesting when you look at someone's stats and you see they average like 8.3 possessions a game, but then you watch them play and you're like, this guy's a star.
But I think we do that with everyone. Like even you see Tom Powell come in, like it's a definite Brownlow. Like it's Brownlow or bust, and then the career might go.
Can the top 3 in the Brownlow be LDU, Simpkin, and Powell? Has that ever happened before?
We did the numbers of like I think one time what you would have to do to have the top 3.
Yeah.
It was like a 3-2-1 interchangeable like each week.
Every week, just
And,
different.
Like doable, but like maybe
Mm.
not for now time.
Well, I don't know. Fire up your sports bet accounts, guys, I reckon. We may as well get on that one early.
Yeah, throw in a multi with flag favourites.
Yeah, yeah, why not? I wonder what that's paying. We should definitely look up what that's paying. So anyway, for this episode, guys, what we're actually going to do is we're going to build our starting 22 or 23 for the game against the West Coast Eagles. We're going to all go around and we're going to mutually agree on the starting 23 players. I don't know if there's going to be arguments, fights, who knows? We might all hate each other by the end of this and you'll never come back, but that's great content.
I'm just going to argue with you called them West Coast instead of wet toast. Like,
Wet toast.
It's way too respectful around here.
I'm so sorry. I'm not good enough, and that's okay. But that's why you guys are here. And then after that, we're going to do an Eagles preview for the game, having a little bit of a chat about what we're going to do well, what we're going to do poorly, how they could tear us apart or how we could tear them apart, all that sort of stuff. But we'll get into the 22 now.
Never tear us apart.
Oh, jeez.
Is that going to be this song we sing at the start of the games like Liverpool do at Anfield?
Maybe in Tassie against a certain team we might play. We
absolutely.
might sing it there, but we'll see.
Everyone's getting down to Tassie for that game, right?
We will be there. So anyone that wants to join, come along. We'll look after you. We'll shout the pie, but
Make
yeah,
sure
we'll
we
be
get
there.
Make sure we get some prison bars for you, blue and white ones, I reckon.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Do you guys want to talk about how the Facebook page started and a little bit about it so people can jump on before we do the 22?
Yeah, we can do a pretty quick run through. I think I had a good friend. He was commenting on a lot of posts, North close to a flag, and I hit him up one day. I said, "Hey,
What year was this? How long ago was this?
I think it was 2020.
Okay.
This was like peak. Everyone's on their phones." He was commenting as himself and getting absolutely roasted for it. And I said, if you can do a page, you can do this anonymously.
Yeah.
I just kind of snowballed from there. And I got super invested in
Yeah.
his original baby, which was this page. And now we are just throwing up content almost like 5 times a day.
Yeah,
So
it's brilliant.
It's honestly too much. Any single thought that enters the mind gets posted.
Get it up there. Yeah. It's quantity over quality for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Trying for both, but
No, sick. Anything else with the page?
what do
Or
you-
we
Yeah,
kind
I
of-
think the other thing is we sort of noticed there was a negativity, especially from specific media personalities regarding the club.
Anyone you wanna name here, or are we
I'm
keeping
going to
that
call out Damien Barrett if you're listening.
Call him out. No, call him out.
I think he's a North supporter too.
He
So
is. I remember him viciously like supporting North against what's the fat guy's name?
Hutchison?
Hutchie, yeah. on Footy Classified when he was like North aren't a flag threat in like 2014 or 15 when we had Wait and everyone running around, and Barrett relentlessly defending North, saying they are there. But anyway, sorry. Please carry on.
yeah, so we pretty much just thought if we're on a down patch, a rebuild, why not just be overly positive about our hopes? There's no point being down in the dumps and negative. So I guess our whole intention is just positivity around the club, get everyone around North.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
no doubt when we do inevitably win the flag this
2028,
year,
I'm calling it now. 2028, Clarker does the miracle in the last year of his contract and gets a 10-year deal after that.
I'm thinking that's our 5th flag in the dynasty at
You reckon?
2028.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
But yeah, like if we can get everyone around it now while we're at the bottom, imagine how good
Absolutely.
it's going to be when we're at the top.
It'll
So
be
that's
massive.
that's the
Invest.
goal really.
Unreal.
buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
You got to invest
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. Yeah, sick.
And I think as well, one of the things we found was like, I guess if the players aren't making it enjoyable for us in the stands, why don't we just make it fun?
Yeah.
So I think, we sort of, I think it really precipitated after that Geelong loss last year, which is like,
Yeah.
fuck it, let's just do a, basically like almost a meetup, and we all sat up in level 4 for the Collingwood game. Ended up nearly winning the whole game. But
That was insane.
that was
yeah.
yeah, but like we just thought we'll just see what happens. We had a fair few people end up coming along, and it was just good fun.
Yeah, sick.
And like a lot of people just came up to us after the game, being like, "This is the most fun we've had at a North game in a very long time."
I think we counted. We had 40. It felt like 400.
Yeah.
It was. They came
Hey,
in
we'll
numbers,
take it.
and
We'll take it.
yeah, it was great.
Yeah, unreal. Okay, sick. Well, yeah, North Melbourne, closer to a flag. If you don't follow it. Brilliant content, 10 out of 10 stuff. All right. 22 time. Are we ready? Is everyone pumped for this?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
We're excited.
So I've made my 22. We are going to say, obviously, Mackay out, unfortunately. I was 50-50 on Zerha because it's a 1 to 3 week injury with 2 weeks to the game at the time of the injury. But we'll say Zerha out. Is there anyone else? Coleman Jones out as well.
I believe so. I think for this sake, we move him to the side.
As for like Archers and Halls and things like that, I think because they played in the VFL, they're open for selection. So we'll
all
keep
fair
them in.
game.
All fair game. All right. So we'll start at the back line. My full back line is McDonald, Aiden Core, and I've got Jackson Archer in. Is there any other names to throw in the full back line?
I like it. I've got Bonner in there at the moment just for his height.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Jackson Archer fan.
Yeah.
As he reminded us all before. So I reckon you could be onto something with Jackson Archer on the back line.
Yeah. I think that's more of a heart pick for me, though. I do think maybe Bonner will play. Clarko, I think Clarko sees him as that like Josh Gibson type guy, but clearly maybe not quite as good. But if he could get there, I'm all about it. But I would say, yeah, I think Bonner might play, but I would like Archer to play. So we're in charge of this. We'll say Archer. Right?
Yeah, go Archer.
Archer?
I think Archer in is good.
All right. Half back line, we've got I've got Jack Zeeble, Griffin Logue, and I've put Aaron Hall in there. Now I'd say Aaron Hall being in there, a lot of people don't seem to like Aaron Hall very much this year, but I think the experience is necessary for us. I know it sounds cool to throw all of the kids in at once, but that is never, ever ending well.
It sounds a bit too much like career mode in FIFA when you're trying to really
100%.
pump those like games into the... we need the experience still because it's silly to be so reckless, I guess.
Yeah.
I had Gota in as well, depending where you've got him landing in the side. Mm-hmm. And Zeeble off the other flank as well.
Yeah.
I think Logue has to take the biggest forward. I think
100%.
I think Bonner's probably going to line up on Oscar Allen.
Yeah.
Which we know from your last podcast. You have a bet.
I do have a bet with a co-worker at work.
Larky's going to,
absolutely
smash him in the Coleman.
He will.
Let's hope so.
Well, does anyone think that Larky is not going to beat Oscar Allen in goals this year?
I think he'll double.
double
Allen's goal.
Oscar Allen?
Double instantly, yeah.
I reckon you won up that bet with him and
Double
Larky
nothing, you
to
reckon?
double. Yeah, I reckon.
Unbelievable.
I think Oscar Allen kicks 6 goals in round 1 and finishes the year on 7.
Only because Mackay's out as well.
That's solely it.
And Zeeble and in half back for me. Does anyone want to interject there?
I had Gota on the halfback and Zeeble on the bench to start, but
Okay.
I think to start the season, thinking about this again,
Yeah.
you want to have that as experienced heads starting the game, I think, especially with Mackay injured.
Yes.
So I reckon
Okay.
maybe we'll shift Gota to the bench on ours and Zeeble off the halfback. I reckon
All
that's
right.
a good way to go.
Okay. So just to recap there, so the full back line, we'll go McDonald, back pocket, Aiden Core at full back, and we went Archer or did we go Bonner?
Archer.
Archer.
Yep.
All right. Then we agree Zeeble, Griffin Logue, and Aaron Hall. We're going with Hall.
Yep.
Okay.
No one's getting past that halfback line.
No, absolutely not. Centre line. Here we go. Bailey Scott. I feel like that's fairly. We should all agree on that.
I have
Because
that
I'm-
lock.
Yep.
Yeah. LDU in the middle. Obviously, you can rotate with Cunnington and Simba. I've put LDU there.
Yep.
On the wing, this is where it was a little bit hard for me. I think Gota. I think Gota on the wing.
I like Gota there. I personally went Will Phillips, who
Okay.
I think whether he's on your bench in your projected lineup, I
Yeah.
love Will Phillips in that role. I think this is his year. This is maybe his team. So
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is the time where he comes alive on the wing.
Rashawn, any different?
I was actually going to say Gota as well.
On the wing?
Yeah, just because I saw him at the Bulldogs game. The way he moved was just much, much nicer than what I really expected. So I was
He only
pleasantly
played. He's only played
surprised.
one game, right?
think
He's only
so.
played one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what a game it was. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, I reckon give him a chance. I'd like to
For
see Clarko give him a chance, but
I
yeah,
agree.
it'd be interesting to see.
Okay, so we agree go to wing then.
Yeah.
We've still got room on the bench for these other guys, obviously, but we'll go to wing. Cool. So Bailey Scott, LDU, and Gota along the centre. Fantastic. There's not as much arguing as I thought there would be here, guys. We need some
because I
spicy.
think
We're really aligned at the
It's
moment.
super
Yeah.
comprehensive, and I think just subject to availability, like these guys
true.
are just the obvious calls at
Maybe
this
when
point,
we
aren't
get
they?
down to like the bench and stuff, we'll have some back and forward. So half forward line, I have Curtis Taylor, Nick Larkey, and Jaden Stevenson. So obviously Steve-O is a controversial one for some people. Do we all have Stevenson in there or?
I think he's in the forward line. I think he plays. Depending where you had Sheasel, I had him on the flank, whether you got him as the pocket.
Okay. I have Sheasel off the bench currently.
Okay.
But no, actually, because Zerha's not there now, I've put Sheasel in my forward pocket.
Yeah.
I think closer to goal for Sheasel is better.
Okay, because I had Paul Curtis off that pocket. I think he works it better, but
Okay.
these guys are lining up in the forward 50 regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not be too picky about pocket or
God, no.
forward flank or anything like that. But
God,
I mean, yeah, I'd see, for me, Curtis Taylor, you could argue maybe wing or half forward. So I think he's got to be on that forward flank. Larkey, I mean, I'm presuming again we've got Larkey and Comben as the two forwards. I guess you can switch up who you want full forward and half forward, but I feel like maybe Larkey could push up and impact a contest a bit more, maybe because of his experience. But I need him to win the bet actually, so maybe I'll chuck him in the goal square so I can beat Big Ann. And yeah, so Stevenson, do we all have Stevenson in the 22 or the 23, or does anyone not have him there?
Yeah, no, I've got him in the forward line. I think the X factor, and he actually had a really good half against the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Do you want to tell what you were saying before the podcast, where you thought of his first half?
We were quite nuffy with this move here. We actually thought Steve-O had a really poor first half last week against Bulldogs until we realised he wasn't actually on the field at all. So
yeah.
Cutting
the fact
edge.
that's in your mind, though. You're like, of course he's doing nothing.
We messaged like, he's done nothing.
The
Get him
group
off.
chat was just a
Get him off.
minefield.
It's like, he was the whole time.
So apologies to Steve-O. He had a really good first half, and I think Clarko's the exact coach he sort of needs to.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Yeah. I think talking to people at my job at work about this with Jaden Stevenson is like a lot of people, if you're not a North fan, you hate Jaden Stevenson, right? Because the only thing you saw of him last year was kicking it to Buddy, turning his back and getting that goal kicked over the top of his head, which is incredibly embarrassing.
Shocking one for the highlight reel.
It's awful, isn't it? But I actually think he had a decent enough year, even if just racking up the footy. And he was one of the only players on the team that when he was like with the wing or further forward, I actually believe would hit a target in the forward line as well. So I think if we were pushing for top 8 or like, a better team, maybe he's on the brink of it. But I think with the position that we're at on the ladder now, he's got too much talent to not play and still get chances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed.
So we all agree Curtis Taylor as well. He hasn't played much in the preseason, but was VFL.
I think Curtis Taylor's got it. I think.
Yeah, I really
plays.
rate Curtis Taylor.
Yeah.
All right. So Curtis Taylor, Nick Larkey, and Jaden Stevenson as the half forward line.
That's a dynamic forward line. I love it already.
I'm getting actually quite excited right here. Full forward line. Here we go. So I've got Sheasel because Zerha is out, unfortunately. Charlie Comben, and then I've got Paul Curtis in the other pocket. So I've got a pocket combination of Curtis and Sheasel.
I think that's so solid.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to contest something, and there's nothing to contest.
Nah,
I had Tom Powell, just where you fit him in, because I think he's he's got to be a flank or a pocket or just off the bench. But I think he has to play. But apart from that, I mean, pretty flawless.
I will say I have a little bit of PTSD from the Noble era with picking like one key defender, one ruck, and one key forward, and everyone else is a midfielder. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to play Tom Powell in the forward pocket or off half back. It doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get like this with the NBA All-Star game as well, where they don't play a traditional center in the starting 5 of the All-Star game, and I hate it. I'm like, what's this trash?
North Melbourne's team is comparable to the NBA All-Star lineups
No
as well.
defense. No defense. All right, and Comben, full forward.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to have a crack.
Yeah.
Give him a few runs at it. I think he's played 2 games, maybe 3 games. I think it's his time now to have a go.
I'll ask Rashawn a question as well here. Larkey, Comben, who's full forward to you and who's half forward?
I'll probably say Larkey is a half forward, Comben is the full forward.
Yep.
I've just sort of seen, and I guess I've sort of gotten used to Larkey as well, just playing as half forward. Probably more trusted with, being the big man for a contested mark. Comben, I guess we haven't seen as much of him. So
maybe it's safer down in the goal square. Can't turn it over further up the ground or something.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, and Larky as well, he can move all right for someone his size. And the last thing I want to see as well is just, I don't know what it is. When was the last time you remember us kicking to a mark on the lead?
Yeah, true. Yeah, 100%.
I swear to God, I see every other team doing it, and we just
100%.
don't kick on the lead, at all. Like, it's always a kick to a 10-man
top of the goal
contest.
square, yeah.
This was a big one for Rashawn, keeping him up at night weekly, because
No, I agree.
there were so many things you just say, why can we not just hit a target? And
Yeah.
it was it mostly was Larky, you know. It was going on his head every single kick into the 50.
Yeah.
I think it was
absolutely
the
agree.
Richmond game, and I was literally, I think I posted on the page, babe, wake up, we just hit a target on the lead. Like, because it just never happens. But yeah, those would be my two.
Yeah, I have another thing like that as well, where, so exactly like that, we're in our midfield, right? For the last 3 years, we just don't have any players around a contest. And especially with teams against the Bulldogs, who I thought maybe for the last decade have been the best handballing team in the league, right? Doesn't matter what we do, it seems like every contest a ball up or it spills loose, we've got like 2 guys there and the other team has 5 and they always get it out the back. Where are these other players? I just don't know where on the field they are. Because on the TV, it zooms in close. I'm like, where are all their players? I think manning up is like the oldest rule or like the most basic coach tactic you could ever do.
You'll hear that one as well, like why are they moving the ball backwards or don't handball, just kick it. Like you'll see that one in the comments a lot.
And we always go, just kick it, and then they just kick it until, like you said, we're like, why didn't you hit a target? You know, we'll never win. Okay, so we had Curtis, Comben, and Sheasel. Forward line, all in agreement?
Yeah, we're gonna agree once again. That's
All
the
right.
one.
Someone needs to just be planted here to argue with us. I think this is going way too smoothly.
Who's the devil's advocate?
I would argue here that the followers are the easiest ones to pick, really. So I'll be so surprised if you guys have anything other than this, but it's Goldstein, Simpkin, and Cunnington.
You don't have Kane Turner starting in the middle?
Look, I didn't want to bring this up this early because I know how passionate you are about Kane Turner. Give Kane Turner the Coaches Award already. You know what I mean?
Maybe the participation award, but we'll see about coaches.
Encouragement Award. I did
give
win
him
that.
Give him the Hungry Jacks voucher.
I did win the Coaches Encouragement Award for the first year I ever played footy back in 2006.
And how encouraged did you feel?
Not very. Not very. But I had little man titties, so I tried my hardest. All right. Hopefully this can bring a little bit of contention. All right. Interchange bench. Will Phillips and Tom Powell. Mm-hmm. I'd say they have to be there, right? The other two, so I've got Eddie Ford on the bench. I thought he looked really good in the game against Richmond. I know it was a little bit... Did he play in the Bulldogs game? No, he didn't.
No,
did
he was in the VFL game. Yeah.
No.
I liked what I saw from Eddie Ford. I won't lie. I think I said this in the first podcast. Eddie Ford, I heard people talk about him. I had no idea what that guy did. I don't know why anyone wanted him anywhere near the starting 22. But I was actually really impressed with how he hit the contest, and I don't know, he just looks like he knows where the goals are. So I'll give him a shot, but I wouldn't be against putting someone else on the bench. The other guy I had on the bench, now it's a toss-up between 2 for me. It's Liam Shields and Aidan Bonner.
Right, okay.
So I think I like Liam Shields in there because Clarko. Right?
I think he plays him for sure. There's
I do
there's
as
no way
well.
he doesn't, which also leads into you don't have Hugh Greenwood playing,
I don't have Hugh Greenwood playing.
which I'm surprised. I think he plays.
Okay, why? Why is that?
I think from what we've seen, like his Gold Coast times, he was just damaging. We got him for nothing. He's just that clearance guy that we need.
Yeah. I you know what? I don't disagree because originally, like a few weeks ago when I was like, I'm going to make a hypothetical starting team, he was in there. Yeah. But Eddie Ford was the one for me that took him out of there.
I think Shields and Greenwood are almost interchangeable. I feel one plays, one doesn't. So I reckon we'll see this year 11 games each, roughly 12 games between the two of them.
Yeah.
We just need that experienced midfielder, Shields or Greenwood.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Okay, so we've got 2. We need to pick 2 for the bench here, and then we've got the sub as well after this, right? So Eddie Ford, or do we want to put Eddie Ford in, or is there going to be another battle here?
Do we need another ruckman? Because I've got Tristan Zeri on the bench too. Goldie's getting on, which is a very
Goldie could play
emotional
every
thing to
minute of
say.
every game. I don't know. I think Goldie plays every second of every game.
I think so too. He's just like a fine wine.
He's
that
still
man.
got it.
Tristan Jerry, I actually have as my sub.
The sub.
I have as
Okay.
my sub. I reckon Goldie can ruck out like at least 3/4, if not a bit more of a game. Maybe Comben or someone who can jump a little
Yeah.
bit can go in and pinch hit for a second. But, you know, and if someone does need to come on, I would actually always have Coleman Jones as mine, but he's injured.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
Coleman Jones can go forward or he can play in the ruck.
I reckon your sub, you go someone more dynamic than that. I think that is actually Hugh Greenwood. Someone
As
that
the sub.
Yeah, you can throw in because you don't know why you're subbing out whoever is coming out.
Are you going to go hard on the Greenwood for the bench thing? How are you going to campaign
I want
this?
him to play. I
want him in?
I want Greenwood in there. I
Liam,
think.
do you want Hugh Greenwood on the bench?
I'm
Not
I'm-
sub, bench. Do you want him on the bench?
Yes. So Greenwood to replace Shields. I think they're 50-50.
You got to pick. Are we gonna pick Greenwood or Shields right now? Because I would vote. Let's pick between those two, and then we can debate who's the last
Well,
spot on the
in
bench.
one world, I'm wrong because I've said they're both playing round one. So our team's wrong or something, but we'll see.
If you had to pick Greenwood or Shields to play round one,
Clarko loves Shields. I think
Yeah.
he picks Shields.
who would you pick if you?
I'd
would
pick Greenwood,
You
but
pick
obviously
Greenwood?
Clarko is signed for a reason and not me.
Okay.
So
All right. What do you think?
I'm actually the same as Tyler here. I'm thinking Clarko definitely picks Shields.
Yeah.
And he's a smarter man than me. So you got to
are you
trust the
talking
instinct. But
true.
you do have 4 premierships between the two of you. So like, don't give
Is
yourself some
there
credit.
an under 16s career I don't know about here?
oh, we don't need to talk about that one at all. That was a horrible career. But
That's a separate podcast.
I reckon Shields starts for us round one.
Okay.
But he'll be rested.
Yeah, but
consistently
who would you
throughout the
pick?
season. I'm picking Shields.
Shields.
I'm picking Shields.
Rashawn, would you pick Greenwood or would you pick Shields to start round one or on the bench?
Oh,
you know?
look, I'd like to see Greenwood go on, but I think Shields.
Okay.
I think Clarko will pick Shields, and I also think, maybe he would be. Maybe he would be a better fit.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see
Greenwood
someone.
is stiff to miss though. I'm not saying he shouldn't be in there, but
100%. Yeah,
And you got to assume the people that Clarko's brought in himself are going to get first preference.
I
Yeah.
also 100%.
and I think I'd just like to see how he fits into North as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
I can only
Yeah.
imagine how handy he would be barking orders for Clarko's game plan that he played for so long on the field as well, especially to guys like Phillips or Powell or those young guys, Goda. So, all right. So, we're Shields.
yep, I
All
reckon.
right. There's one more spot on the bench.
Do we have one more spot? I mean,
Yeah. So, we've got Powell, we've got Phillips, and we've got Shields on the bench so far.
And you said previously you think Kane Turner plays.
Oh, no, I put Eddie Ford on.
You have Eddie Ford, yeah.
I think Kane Turner absolutely plays round one, but I'm trying to find a nice mix of what I would pick and what Clarko's going to pick. I think Turner is a lock, but I wouldn't pick Kane Turner.
Throw him at sub. Just
Kane Turner.
give him the vest.
What impact can Kane Turner have on
But that's
us,
the thing about
sub?
Kane Turner. It doesn't matter whether we win by 100 or lose by 100. He will always be in the side, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like every single time.
I mean, look, forward pressure is important, but you need to kick goals. But do you guys have any idea why? Because we all get the impression, right, that Kane Turner is now Clarko's favourite. Have you guys got that impression? Because I definitely have.
I think so. I think Clarko wants to really give him a crack. I think he sort of told him, like, look, you got delisted and then got taken back on.
Now it's now or
I
never.
think, really, like, give it a go. You've got nothing to lose, I think.
Okay. All right. Does anyone vote for Kane Turner on the bench? That was the last spot of the bench. I'd say we're picking between Turner, Ford, and maybe Jerry.
I think Turner will get on purely just because, purely just because of Clarko. I
Okay.
think, yeah.
All right. Anyone else want to
No, I'm
throw in
gonna
something different there?
I'm gonna throw my endorsement his way and say
Turner.
that's the way.
Liam, are you gonna go Turner here? Remember Eddie Ford, Jerry.
I think the Kane Turner redemption arc will be the story of the season.
All right,
I think
we're putting
Kane Turner.
in. All right.
Kane Turner.
I don't feel good about it, but we're putting Kane Turner in. I say Turner's fourth on the bench.
Yep.
So Phillips, Powell, Turner, and who was the last one we picked? Liam Shields. Sub. All right. We don't have Bonner in the 22, do we? No, we don't. We don't. Okay. So I would say Bonner, Jerry, Is there anyone else anyone wants to throw out there? I mean, Greenwood, like we said before.
Yeah.
I know someone was talking about their old mate Lazaro. You really want to stick up for him, but
we love Lazaro.
Yeah.
He's a gentleman, but
Yeah.
I think I would like to see Greenwood play sub. If he can come in, he can make an impact.
Okay.
I think that's what the team needs.
I do agree with you. I think with Mackay not playing round one, I reckon Bonner needs to be the sub because if we get an injury to Logue or Core, we're pretty screwed in that respect. So
Okay.
I would go, if we had Mackay, Greenwood as the sub. We don't have Mackay, I think Bonner as the sub.
I do agree with you, actually. I think Bonner has to be the sub merely because Mackay's not there. That would be my pick. Not what I would normally pick if everyone was healthy, but I think because of the defensive issues, yeah. All right. Any other picks for Rashawn? No?
No, I think I'm pretty much in agreement with that. Yep.
Bonner? You've been outvoted, Tyler.
That's
Sorry,
cool.
mate.
That is
Sorry,
all
mate.
right.
Hugh Greenwood's not playing, mate. You can go down to the twos and watch them though if you want.
Hugh, if you hear this, mate, like I battled for you, mate.
Yeah, he really put in a shift. Yeah. What are your okay? So do we actually maybe we go through and read out the 23? Yep. Let's go.
Yep. So at the back we got McDonald, Core, and Archer. Halfbacks we have Zeeble, Logue, and Hall. In the middle we got for our centres we got Bailey Scott, LDU, and Goda. Half forwards Curtis Taylor, Larkey, and Stevo, and then our forwards are Shees, Common, and Curtis. On ball we have Goldie, Simpkin, and Cunners, and on the bench we have Phillips, Powell, Turner, Shields, and then Bonner as the sub.
How do we feel?
That's a 60-point win right
That's
there.
a 60-point win.
Oh,
10
100%.
goals. Yeah.
Has to be.
At the very least, I reckon.
Fantastic. All right, and I love the thought of Bonner coming on in the last quarter and just locking up Oscar Allen, so I can start the bet off on a winning note for this year as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other players that we think are stiff? Obviously Greenwood. I guess the other thing is like, what's Darcy Tucker up to? Like I guess he was coming back from an injury, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's just not ready.
Not ready?
That's it. Like when he's 100%, he'll be in. But yeah, I think I was looking at the injury list and he's just not ready for round one. So
I'd say Jerry is maybe the biggest miss. Greenwood and Jerry would be the two that are probably stiff. But other than that, I know.
yeah, for those listening, I got eye contact straight away on Greenwood just to acknowledge. But
Yeah. All right. The one thing I was going to ask you guys actually as well, two players really that sort of play the same position. Blake Drury, is that how you say his last name? I'm not good at that.
Yeah, Blake Drury.
Let's hope so, man.
Obviously, like everyone in the preseason, training the house down, right? But obviously didn't see him very much in the pracky games. Him or Flynn Perez, I don't rate Perez at all. I think Perez is very poor, turns the ball over, and is quite weak in a contest, and I wouldn't have him anywhere near the starting team. But people seem quite high on him. Is that just my opinion, or what do you guys think of Flynn Perez?
Yeah, I think he's one of those players that sort of started off with a lot of potential. He's kind of
He
really...
had 2 knee recos, didn't he?
He
Or
did, yeah.
ACLs?
I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I feel like he's just really plateaued out very quickly. I am kind of excited by Blake Drury just because his attitude. He works so hard. And yeah, I think it was Baseline Footy. I saw some of their highlights of Blake Drury and he just moves around the ground so well. So yeah, I don't think he'll be like early season. I reckon mid-season we'll really start to see him get a couple of games.
Okay.
He'll be one of those guys that sort of Clarko, once fatigue starts to set in for the players, he'll probably
an
rotate
injury
through.
or something like that. Maybe pushes
absolutely.
Zeeble out or someone like that. But
Yeah.
I love Jackie Zeeble. The other guy, I guess, actually that I forgot about, Lockie Young. Like I didn't rate Lockie Young at all last season, but towards the back half of the year, I was like, he's pretty solid and actually looks all right. But then, like a Ben Warren delisting, he's just gone all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, he ticks all the boxes too, but he just
Why do you think he's
doesn't come
not?
through.
Why do you think he hasn't played?
Here's the thing:
in
when I think of
preseason?
Lockie Young, I only think of he always is top in like the sprinting or sprint speed of the
Yes.
game, most kilometers ran.
For any Premier League fans out there, he's like Mudryk, where it's like he got bought for 100 million, and the only stat you'll see is he's really good at step overs, and he ran 36 kilometres.
I
in
hope
one
Lockie
Premier
Young's
League
not
game.
on 100 million. Let's
Hey, you got to pay 90% of the cap out, don't you? So give it to him.
Yeah, I feel like when I think of Lockie Young, all I can think about is the shit that he just consistently runs and
Yeah.
nothing else. I don't
Because
think
I
he
thought he
brings
was
much.
pretty decent towards the back half.
Yeah,
So-
he was actually towards the end of the season because he was our whipping. Oh, he was a lot of people's whipping boy at the start
was
of the
for
season.
me, 100%. Yeah.
But I think towards the end of the season, like yeah, he was very consistent and underrated for
Yeah.
us. I'm hoping he can find a way back in the team, but because we don't have him in at the moment. But
Yeah.
I really like him. He goes back with the flight of the ball a lot too, and he has a crack. So big fan of Lockie Young.
Okay. Well, I'd say any other players we want to talk about that are on the fringes there. I mean, look, for a couple of names, I'll just quick fire off before we go to the preview against the Eagles. I mean, Wardlaw, still recovering or still getting his body right, so I don't think he'll be in there. Not yet. I mean, Callum Dawson is another defensive option. Phoenix Spicer. Do we think Brett Harvey's son is going to get a run probably later in the season if we're awful, but that's probably all. Lazaro is another one, but they're probably the last few names I had written down, but I don't think there's any cases really to make for them being in the starting team.
Yeah, I think they'll get their chance once a few of the senior players sort of fatigue and general injuries come around. So who knows? There could be a gold nugget amongst those.
A Phoenix
Amongst the list.
Spicer redemption.
Yeah, who knows?
I can see it.
I can see it. I can
I
get
can
around
see
it.
it. Okay. All right. Everyone's happy with that?
Very happy. That's a flag-winning team right there.
Fantastic. All right. So, preview against the Eagles here. All right. A couple of questions just to run through. We'll either go just a little quick answer from everybody here, or we can split it up between you guys. First off, how are we feeling going in against the Eagles after, I guess, Mackay and Zerha would be the main ones going down? What's the confidence level? Give me a confidence rating out of 10.
I mean, just to keep the optimism, let's just keep
6.
it 10.
Okay.
Let's just keep it 10. Even though deep down, it's just Ben Mackay changes everything.
It's massive,
I think
isn't it?
It's
That
just,
he is our most important player by far. There is not another player on our team that is so irreplaceable
yeah.
anywhere on the field. For me, anyway.
But yeah, as for optimism, even if it's not what I'm truly feeling, I'm just going to roll with a 10.
10. I like it.
Yeah, I'm thinking we can follow last season's game of the year when we won by 15
that was-
points in front of 8,000
I've
people.
never been so upset after watching a win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was the atmosphere was incredible that
was.
day. So I think round one we bring the heat again, and I'm tipping a 3-goal win again. In the confidence,
3-goal win?
The confidence is, like Tyler said, at a 10, an
10?
all-time high.
Okay. Jeez, now I feel like I'm playing it down a little bit. Oh, my God.
Yeah, to be honest, I am a little bit more optimistic compared to how we went last year. I mean, like that game, I wasn't there for it, but it was just the shakiest.
Good. That's a good financial
Oh
decision.
God, yeah.
Times are tough. We didn't know what the economy was going to do, so that was a good in hindsight.
I mean, like literally, like it was more just thank fuck that's over. Like
Yeah,
it was
thank
just
God.
like, oh my goodness,
We got to
we've-
win. Let's never talk about this again.
Exactly right. But yeah, no, I would also say, look, I'm genuinely quite optimistic. I'm gonna go with 10 as well. But,
Okay. All right. Well,
The
I'm
alignment.
just an asshole, aren't I? Yes. I would say mine's probably not. As soon as Mackay went down, my optimism dropped a lot. You know, I'm excited to see them play, but I don't know. I hope the amount of forwards that North Melbourne, the amount of average forwards that North have made look like stars. If someone came from overseas and their first game was any game we play against the Bulldogs, they think Josh Bruce is like the greatest player of all time. You know what I mean? So I don't want a Jack Darling kicking 10 this week. I guess that's the thing for me. Thank God Griffin Logue is there, because for those who listened to the first podcast, my feelings on Aiden Core are not high. When someone told me that guy was 194 centimetres, I could not believe it. He just looks... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, we don't want to slander too many players, but I'm nervy.
It feels a bit that way, doesn't it? We want to keep this
We want to
happy.
keep it positive, and I hope he proves you right. I hope he's all Australian. You know what I mean?
That's it.
But I worry about Aiden Core sticking on someone, because I think he gets pushed out of a contest very easily, and doesn't even seem to bring the ball to ground.
So who do you think goes Darling and who goes to Allen?
I think Darling, Logue goes to Darling. I would say Darling is more dangerous than Oscar Allen. I know Oscar Allen's got more talent and potential, but he's been out for a year. He's always been the third choice forward. You'd have to back in Aiden Core, hopefully. Have to back him in, I guess, on a guy like that. And I say Darling is more of a threat just for a pack mark and to just stick in the goal square and kick a bag. You know what I mean? So I'd think Griffin Logue. He's athletic. You can take a mark. That would be for me.
Hopefully he shuts them down. That's what we need.
Griffin, if you're listening, do a job today, mate. All right, we need an all-time performance. We want you to be like a North Melbourne Life member after round one.
Like a club legend, like
Club legend.
Tom Lynch. Or,
Yeah, a Joel Tippett maybe.
No, maybe an actually earned club legend.
Yeah, yeah. Unless we get a surprise Miller Bergman in the back line.
We like him too, actually.
Yeah, well, look, I've got nothing
met him.
against Miller
I've met him in
Bergman.
real life. He's a nice guy.
No,
so,
I'm sure he's a very nice guy.
He's a very nice guy.
Love you, Miller. Sorry, mate. Okay, so what do we think our strengths are compared to the Eagles? Where can we take advantage of the Eagles? And then the next question after that will be, where can the Eagles take advantage of us? But let's go, what can we do to counter the Eagles?
Yeah, I think in our midfield, especially with LDU, kind of is when they're firing, like LDU moves so smoothly. Like I still remember against
good-looking man.
I remember against the Swans, like me and you, Liam, we were just like, holy shit, this guy is moving so nicely. So getting good service in if they are firing will be really, really good.
Yeah.
And then, of course, for me, I guess it's quite obvious, but Larky as well, getting it to the key forwards, being able to, again, like I said it before and I say it again, make leads.
Yeah, please hit someone on the chest, guys.
Yeah. Oh, my
Please.
God. I will finish my drink every single time we hit a mark on the lead. So I expect to be kicked out
Could be
at
a scary day
time.
for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it could
true.
be, yeah.
But that being said, I think those are the two sort of areas. Our weaknesses, just going off the Bulldogs game, backline can be quite disorganised at times.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit concerning, I guess. Yeah, just the lack of organisation and communication as well.
There was a lot of players drifting into like pockets with no one around them. There's like three of our defenders standing there, and one guy will drift into a pocket and just gets hit and takes an uncontested mark.
Yeah, exactly.
That happened all against the Bulldogs anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess compared to the Richmond game as well, where we looked quite organised.
True.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just making sure we're right at the back, because I'm sure you've seen, and what we saw a lot throughout last year was just those moments of like 10 minutes where other teams would
Just patches, yeah.
Yeah, they just score like 6-7 goals in a row. And then for the rest of the game, it'd be pretty even. We didn't really know what part of the game would happen, but that's when it would really come back to bite us. Yeah.
No, absolutely it is. Yeah. That's a key, isn't it? Yeah. That's what Richmond did in like the second and third quarter, so like piled on a couple of goals.
Yeah.
And we had to sort of come back at the end, so...
And it was the same for the third quarter in the Bulldogs. It's usually the second or the third quarter that I feel like that happens. But
You're right.
Yeah, that'd probably be the strengths and weaknesses for me.
Anyone else got any different strengths, weaknesses for us and against them?
I think for strength, you got to think that outrunning West Coast. I mean, Nick Nat's going to be always 50% time on ground.
It's true.
He's just, their rotations are stuffed because of him. Even though he's so impactful, it's just they cannot run it down. So I think all the youth in the team, I think we outrun them and we hold on longer.
Yeah, so hopefully it doesn't get to the fourth quarter and we just look gassed and they can pile on goals easily. We can actually play 4 quarters of footy.
I think we match up well in that way.
Yeah, okay. All right. Liam?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think West Coast are a bit older than us.
Yes.
So I'm hoping
Old
we
man
can.
syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
Arthritis is played up.
Don't say too old. What did everyone say about Geelong?
Oh, too old, too slow.
Don't curse them with that.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can, I don't know, just have a bit of fun and play with a bit of flair and catch them off guard and hold on. It'd be great.
Yeah,
It'd be a great start.
All right, cool. Now, I should have opened my phone a little bit earlier to see the next note. Players to watch for both sides. So who do you think could be West Coast's most dangerous player, and who do you think could be our biggest player on the day?
I think West Coast's most dangerous player, it's got to be Oscar Allen. I think it's
You think it's Oscar Allen?
Yeah, just because
Is that because of the bet I've got?
No,
is this just banter or what?
Could be, but we're going in just
So we're meant
undermanned.
to argue in the 22, not right now.
Exactly. It's just going in undermanned down back.
Yeah, okay.
I think, and he's on his development arc. I think
He hasn't played for a year though.
Who knows? I think we'll be surprised,
Yeah.
but it's
So
just
he'll kick 10.
it's such a mixed bag game that we're going into.
It's true. Okay, Oscar Allen. Yeah, and what about our player? What player for us do you reckon could have a huge one? Be the difference?
Will Phillips, I think.
Will Phillips?
I think he gets 30 touches.
Okay.
That's not even a joke. I think I think he's going to get 30 touches.
Not even a joke.
No, I think we just need something like that to really kickstart this year.
Yeah. If we do rotate the midfield, someone who there's not a big decline with someone who comes into that midfield other than the three that are pretty standard going to be in there. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Phillips, and in the same token, Tom Powell. Both of them getting 30 disposals, I think is to be expected. And just a bit of X factor from Sheasel, Steve-O.
I think Sheasel's a good shout.
Someone in that forward line that just has something different about him.
Yeah.
We saw with Curtis last year, he had that X factor. It'd be good to have another one.
Yeah.
Sheasel or whoever's down there, Kane Turner.
Kane Turner, yeah. How many's Kane Turner bagging this week?
Numbers don't go high enough, mate. Not
Yeah.
sure.
yeah. 100%. And West Coast, on West Coast's end, who do you reckon could tear us apart if it did go that way?
I'm thinking, look, it's Tim Kelly.
Oh, I forgot about him.
He's been down a little bit the last few years, and we hear about
He's
it
got
every
a point
year.
to prove.
Yeah, he does. And
Just like against the Bulldogs, like with Bont getting the ball out the back all the time, and we've just got no players goal side. Like,
yeah, he's a very good player, but yeah, he hasn't quite reached the Eagles' heights. And I think last year was obviously a tough year for them. I reckon him and also Elliot Yeo had a pretty interrupted season. I reckon they've both got a chip on their shoulder, so hopefully Cunnington can fend them both off at the same time, and we won't have a problem.
fantastic.
He's holding the ball and defending.
He's
both
holding
at
the ball in
same
his
time.
mouth and he's both arms just fantastic. Yeah, okay. Any more players?
For me, I think Will Phillips and also Shees as well.
I think Shees is a good shout. Yeah.
I just think with Shees bringing something different to the forward line, like Liam said. I think he's just there's a lot to like about him already, which we saw against the Bulldogs. And not only, I guess, is he sort of, a bit sort of taller, but he can still move quite nicely as well.
And he's a bit of an unknown commodity as well. Like, no one's going to really know how to play him because they haven't seen it before. I was surprised how comfortable he looked in the practice games as well, and even the intra-club.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he very much sort of fits into the club quite well. I think, again, like Tyler said, Oscar Allen for me, just purely because I'm just concerned about how organised our defence is again.
Yes.
And that's the problem, because when they're disorganised, that's when their forwards start firing as well. So that's probably going to be my main concern there and the biggest sort of threat.
Well, that concerns me for my bet because everyone said Oscar Allen.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Oscar Allen can kick 5 like he can kick 7.
You're going to win the bet, but I think it's a season long.
I know it's long. It's a season long.
Yeah,
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So
I know. I'm just nervous.
Yeah. Other clubs will lock him up, but unfortunately, I don't know about Saturday.
No, that's fair. All right. And really quickly, match prediction. Win and how many points?
All right, I'm going to be optimistic again. I'm going to go an identical scoreline to identical margin more.
Okay, thank God.
To last year, so North by 15.
North by 15.
I think it'll be a very uneasy game. There will be quite a lot of nerves, but I do think we are a better side compared to last year. Based on what we've seen in the preseason at least, there's been a lot to like. And just the level of organisation, bar some patches, I think is a lot better. I think we can get the job done.
All right. 15 points.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same actually. 3 to 4 goals. Like Rashawn said, we're a better team than last year.
Yeah.
I think West Coast will be a little bit better than last year too. So
that's true. They're getting players back, but I guess how does it affect them being out for that long and having that inconsistency?
And they're all their players that are injured, or majority of the players injured last year are all a bit older too. So you just never know how they're going to come back.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 3 to 4 goals.
All right.
We don't want a really close one for round one. The nerves aren't quite ready for that yet.
No, absolutely. No. A 10-goal win would be nice, but I don't know if it's going to go down that sort of track.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so.
I'll settle for 6 goals.
6 goals?
6-goal win.
A nice compromise.
Because I thought in my mind that we would be maybe a 2 or 3 goal, but I just don't want to agree with these guys.
We've got to differ slightly, yeah.
So I'll go to the end of the spectrum and say it'll be let's go with smashing.
Okay.
We'll go 30-point win.
30-point win.
Not exactly a smashing, but we'll take it.
I'll go North Melbourne win for me. But I'm going to go like a couple of points. I'm going to go like a 3-point win. And Larky Sheasel. We'll go Sheasel kicks a goal from the pocket to put us up with a few seconds to go. And Kane Turner just locks that ball on the forward line when we bomb it down there.
Corey
You know what I mean?
Jones style from the pocket.
Oh,
with Sheasel, yeah.
don't. My hairs are standing up at the back of my neck.
It's too romantic of a prediction,
It is
though.
too romantic.
For Shees to kick the
Well,
winning.
no, Shees is number 3, isn't he? No, he's not. He's not number 3. He is number 3.
You can
Clearly, I
cut,
have
you can
no
cut
idea.
this part out later.
No, this is great content.
I think he is number 3. I think you're right.
I thought, yeah, okay. Can he get
It's
21?
numerology.
We could give him 21 like Corey Jones.
Maybe.
If he kicks a goal from the boundary to win the game, I say we get in contact
I
with the
think
club and make it happen.
North Melbourne Close to a Flag needs to start a petition to get Corey Jones' number on Sheasel's back by the end of the season.
Consider it done.
Consider it done. We're going to get signatures.
Say less.
Oh, look, if Kane Turner is imperative or scores the winning goal, I think maybe an official apology may be needed from North Melbourne close to a flag. I guess we've not exactly been the easiest on him,
Yeah.
but
I regret nothing.
A press conference will be held at the end of the season to address these issues. But until then, we'll
outside
keep
Tyler's house.
Absolutely.
With an entire 4 people in attendance.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fine. That's fine. That's more than enough to bear witness.
Damien Barrett in attendance as well.
Damien and Hutchie. We'll see how they go. All right, we've all predicted North wins. That makes me way more terrified. But everyone get down to the game, and it would be good to see a lot of people there. But yeah, geez, I really hope that we pull out the win. All right, that's basically it, unless anyone else has anything they want to add.
Yeah. So, basically, we have worked with the club, and like we did with Gold Coast at the end of last year, I'm sure a lot of you who are listening who do follow the page have seen some of the videos from that game. It was a lot of fun. We had Bay 29 available for us. We've got Bay 29 again this year.
Unreal.
So we've got it for round 1. We also have it for a series of other games throughout the year. So we'll be releasing more information on the page throughout the week.
Yep.
There will be some free tickets and some heavily discounted tickets going around. So
Beautiful.
please, if you can, get out to the game. Come join us. We're going to have a bit of fun and get around the boys and make sure that we are nice and positive about the club.
Absolutely.
Make some noise and cheer them on.
All aboard the Clarko train.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Any updates from that with tickets as well, I'll be talking about on here every week for you guys anyway. So if you follow this or follow the Facebook page, you'll hear about the tickets and all the things going on there. So get on board with all of that. What a podcast, guys. I don't know how long it's gone for. It doesn't even tell me on there. But how did you feel? First podcast, nerves gone?
It felt pretty good, honestly. 'Cause I think
Natural?
it felt natural.
Yeah.
And just going to throw this comment in there.
Yeah.
North close to a flag than wet toast. Let's,
It
let's
will
just
be
put
a
it
little.
out there. It's a formal thing.
Yeah.
We'll be putting a little message out there during the game. So make sure you stay tuned, I reckon.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah, unreal. The last thing I will point out, we are going to do a club champion for the year on the Further North podcast as well. So every week in the match reviews that I'll do the week after the game, I'm going to give 1, 2, and 3 votes to every player. And we've all communally decided on this name. This award is representing one of the greatest North Melbourne players to ever step foot on a ground. No, don't disrespect the great man.
absolutely
like
objective,
that.
I reckon.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Yeah.
We said we weren't going to trash too many players on this. The cup is called the Sean Atlee Club Champ. All right. How do we feel about Sean Atlee being the club champ?
We said this before. He had the quietest 200 games in history. No one noticed it happen.
No,
but
he
he was
deserves more
so
respect.
serviceable. So
He was serviceable. He was good. Like I said, you get Atlee, we had 3 bounces in a row. Nothing's more exciting than running down the wing.
Yeah, off the half back onto the wing. That was exciting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I remember him against like Brisbane in some obscure 2013 game, doing that like 4 or 5 times.
I love Sean Atlee so much. We miss you, Sean. Please come back to the club in some capacity.
It's always who is Sean Atlee, not how is Sean Atlee.
No, we love Sean. So, Sean Atlee Club Champ will be voted on throughout the year. Please put your votes in as well at the end of the games. I'll post about the podcast. Let me know who you guys think get the 3, 2, 1 every single week. And at the end of the year, I don't know, maybe we try and get a prize. Maybe we try and get Sean Atlee in person to present a trophy to the player.
he's probably hanging around waiting for this.
What would he... Yeah. Sean, we know you're listening to this, mate. Get in contact and you can present the trophy at the end of the year. We love Sean Atlee.
Someone at North knows him.
We're on the Atlee train.
That's it.
All right. thanks very much for coming on, guys. Thank you for travelling out here to be on the podcast.
Thank you.
Hopefully that flowed nicely and we didn't butcher anything. Hopefully I don't regret the 22 we made as well, but hopefully next time, more arguments I think we need to bring, a more maths style
That's it.
podcast.
We're too early in knowing each other right now. Got to come in with some intensity next
Still
time.
in the awkward phase and all that sort of stuff, but we'll get there. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys. Once again, North Melbourne Close to a Flag. Follow the page. Stay tuned to the podcast about all the free tickets and all the cool shit going on there. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week. Anyone want to sign off with any famous North Melbourne commentary?
I'm just going to say that we actively hate the West Coast theme song. So just by the way, come down, come watch the game with us, block your ears for that first minute as they come in and just watch this smashing.
You're more than encouraged to just bring a newspaper and just read it
Yeah.
while the team comes out, I reckon.
Yeah. Do that, a couple of eye holes cut out of the newspaper as well, just in case.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's it. No formal sign off from us. We love the footy. We love North.
Fair enough. Get down to the game, guys, and we'll be back after the West Coast game every Monday with the review. So hopefully it goes well and I'm not crying the whole podcast. See you next week, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for listening to the Further North podcast. We'll be back next week with more great North chat. See you then, Roos fans.